Hi everyone, in this video tutorial we will be discussing about probiotics, prebiotics and synbiotics. So let's start the video. Before starting it, firstly know about the term microflora. Microflora is also called microbiota. It is a community of natural microorganisms which are present in human body. For example, they are present on the surface and in the deep layers of the skin. They are present in the saliva. They are present in the conjunctiva, and mostly they are present in the gastrointestinal tract. Human microflora have crucial role in human health and disease. It is estimated that human microbiota contain 10 raised to power 14 bacterial cells, a number that is 10 times greater than the number of human cells present in the human body. If we talk about human gastrointestinal tract or human gut, it is comprised of the entire digestive system from stomach to the anus. Here you can see that stomach and duodenum contain these number of bacterial cells which are quite less in contrast to others. Jejunum and ileum are the parts of small intestine and they contain these number of bacterial cells, but proximal colon, transverse colon and distal colon, these are parts of large intestine and they contain quite large number of bacterial cells as you can see here. So the colon or the large intestine is the organ which is the preferred site for bacterial colonization. The colon alone is estimated to contain over 70% of all the microbes in the human body. Human gastrointestinal tract is largely dominated by more than 1,000 species and 7,000 strains of bacteria. Besides bacteria, gut microbiota also comprises of viruses, protozoa, fungi and archaea. The gut microbiota has various beneficial roles in human well-being and illness. It is heavily colonized by numerous beneficial and harmful bacteria. A stable gut microbiota helps to maintain homeostasis. They also maintain the bowel movements. They regulate or modify the functions of the immune system, that is, they act as an immunomodulatory. They avail non-essential amino acids and vitamin B to the body. They prevent and cure bacterial, viral, and radiotherapy or antibiotic associated diarrhea. When there is a reduction in the number, imbalance, or any alteration in the gut microbiota, it results in a condition called dysbiosis or dysregulation. The most common disease occur due to dysbiosis or dysregulation are lactose intolerance, irritable bowel movements, inflammatory bowel disease, gastrointestinal tract cancers, liver diseases, infectious diseases, autoimmune diseases. There is respiratory diseases such as tuberculosis, inherited asthma. There is atopy generation. There is obesity, visceral pain. Gut microbiota is also responsible for psychological disorders. Consumption of alcohol, antibiotic use, transition in dietary habits, infection, age, these are the factors cause dysbiosis. As specific changes occur in the intestinal environment might assist the development of certain disorders which we have discussed in previous slide. Therefore, there is need to re-establish the balance in the gut microbiota by probiotics, prebiotics, or a combination of both, that is symbiotics, for prevention and treatment of diseases. The term probiotic is derived from the Greek word which means for life, and it was first introduced by Vergin. He introduced this term when he was examining the detrimental effects of antibiotics on the gut microbiota. According to Food, Drug and Administration and World Health Organization, they jointly define probiotics as live microorganisms which, when administered in adequate amounts, they impart health benefits to the host. Here are some probiotic food products such as yogurt, kimchi, buttermilk, miso, and so on. Different bacterial, yeast, and mold strains are given in table that are commonly used as probiotics. Now, what are the properties of an ideal probiotic strain? The probiotic food product should be rich in colony forming units. That is, the viable number of microorganisms in food incorporated with probiotic strain should be more than or equal to 108 colony forming units per gram of the sample. The probiotic strain should be recognized with GRAS status, that is generally recognized as safe, and should be safe for human consumption. The strain should be non-genetically modified and genetically stable. The probiotic strain should be acid and bile tolerant, that is, they are capable of surviving and metabolizing in the gut ecosystem. The probiotic food product should contain either one or more strains. For example, VSL3 is a combination of 8 different probiotic strains. The impacts of different strains are different. That is, the effect of probiotics are strain specific and it can't be generalized. A single strain, when used individually and when it is used in combination with other strains, it set out different benefits in different patient groups. The term prebiotic was first recognized in 1995 by Gibson and Robert Freud. As we know that probiotics are live microorganisms, prebiotics are substrates for these live microorganisms and help them to grow in the gut. As per International Scientific Association for Probiotics and Prebiotics, prebiotics are defined as a substrate. Here substrate means non-digestible food ingredients, mostly fibers, or we can say non-viable food component which is selectively utilized or fermented by host microorganisms, conferring a health benefit to the host. Sources of prebiotics include raw oats, soya beans, breast milk, unrefined barley, non-digestible oligosaccharides, galacto-oligosaccharides, fructo-oligosaccharides, trans-galacto-oligosaccharides, inulin sources, and so on. Now the properties of an ideal prebiotics are: it should be able to show resistance to bile salts, acidic pH of stomach, and hydrolyzing enzymes present in the gut. That is, it should be acid and bile tolerant. It should be easily fermentable through beneficial intestinal microbiota. It should not be absorbed in upper gastrointestinal tract. It should be able to control microbiota modulation. It should be able to persist through the colon as oligosaccharides are of high molecular weight. It should be active at low dosage and devoid of any side effects as it is selectively and efficiently metabolized by probiotic strains. When the concept of prebiotics was introduced by Gibson, he assumed if prebiotics were amalgamated or combined with probiotics in order to promote health benefits by forming what he called as synbiotics. It is derived from the Greek word syn, which means together, and biotic, which means pertaining to life. And it is defined as the combination of probiotics and prebiotics that favors host health by improving the survival and implantation of live microbial dietary supplements into the gastrointestinal tract. Also, it stimulates and activates the metabolism of health beneficial microflora to maintain the homeostasis in the gastrointestinal tract. Synbiotics were formulated to overcome the survival difficulties for probiotics. Therefore, they are considered as next generation of probiotics. In synbiotics, both probiotics and prebiotics act together in order to promote healthy gut microbiota. This implies synbiotic is a supplement consisting of mixture of live microorganisms and substrate in order to get health benefit. This combination of probiotics and prebiotics exhibits good synergistic effects on the host by significantly improving the human health, because the added prebiotics stimulate the proliferation of added probiotic strains along with encouraging the growth of pre-existing beneficial microbiota in the gut. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching. I hope this video would be helpful for you. Thank you.